some critical on-chain metrics data as it relates to Bitcoin, as it relates to the crypto markets. We're going to dive right into this data in this video, explain why the bears are tapped out. Here it is. This is Bitcoin 2011, the bottom. Here's Bitcoin 2015, the bottom of the bear market. Here's Bitcoin right here, 2018, December 2018, the bottom of the crypto bear market. Here we are, right here. November 2022, December 2022, the bottom of the crypto bear market. And a slight question, because there's no guarantees. I think so. Many people think so. In this video, I'm going to break down why that is. And we have new on-chain metrics that truly illustrates why there's such a strong case that the bears really are tapped out and the bottom is in. Now, I just want to say, and we're going to dig into targets even in this video, but I just want to say that doesn't mean there might not be a little downside as we put in a higher low on Bitcoin and crypto markets, right? Here we are identifying this as a potential bottom, maybe some downside. We'll talk about the targets and what that looks like and why I think those are the targets. But let's talk about this chart. This is the realized profits to value ratio with a 7-day moving average. And real quick, before we break down this tweet from CryptoCon that I just came across, he tweeted earlier today, the real profits to value ratio, RPV, is defined as the ratio of realized profits and realized cap. This metric compares profit taking in the market with its overall cost basis on a dollar-to-dollar basis. So it really allows us to find the high profit areas and high loss areas in these cycles of crypto. So they posted, the second move to the high loss buy zone is finally here for Bitcoin on the RPV ratio. And what he's saying, the second move right here, and you can see in purple, it's kind of a higher low on this chart. The more I look, the more I'm starting to see the possibility that downside may be tapped out. The cycle bottom is confirmed with the first move to the lower portion of the buy zone, the green circle. So you go through these cycles, which I just did at the beginning of the video in terms of the cycle bottoms. I think that 2011 move is what he's showing here. It looks like, I could be wrong, but you see these green circles. Here's 2022. Here's 2018 bottom, and you can see the charts, the Bitcoin charts right here in black on this chart. But there's the green 2018 bottom. Here is the signal for the 2015 bottom. And look, these are the charts of Bitcoin bottoming out each time around. And here we are again, Bitcoin bottoming out, and we have this second move to loss in 2023 being put in on this chart. So after which Bitcoin makes one last return to create the bottom after the bottom. And that's what that purple is. So now when you take an honest look at this data, he asked a question, does it really, sorry for that noise, does it really seem like a good idea to wait for a plunge to even lower in the buy zone? And you can see it's in the green buy zone. And that's up to you, everybody. Everybody approaches these markets differently. I evaluate the data. I present to you what I see. That's all this is, my opinion on what I see, the way that I see things. But that is the question right now in this cycle. There are people that are just waiting for just new lows below this, even in terms of Bitcoin, in terms of altcoins going lower. And the question is, based on that on-chain metrics data, based off of these charts, just zoomed out from a technical analysis perspective, the consistency and the flow of Bitcoin and crypto cycles, we are so on pace to have bottomed out already and to be putting in a higher low. It's risky to be like, we're going even lower. We're going even lower at this point. It's different this time around. There's a risk to that. There's a risk to crypto, of course, that I accept and many of you accept out there. I always say the extreme part of it to the downside is it just all goes to zero and I lose everything. That's always in my mind. But there's a huge risk at this part of the cycle after we just survived just this entire bear market. There's a risk to not have exposure to crypto. In relation to the bottom being in, right? That's kind of what we're saying. The bears are tapped out. They're tapped out from a cycle perspective. The bottom is in. That's kind of what we're analyzing here. It doesn't mean that there might not be continued downside. We go to something like a daily chart, right? We've seen, and this is back here in June, like topping out in June and then just falling sideways and down. Had a similar type of thing happen from April back here into June. So we've been in this multi-month, just grueling process of consolidation, and it could continue. We could continue further down, but we are in it. And this green box on this chart kind of represents where the higher low was put in the previous cycles. And that's what we're approaching right now. This is a daily chart. This is October to December. We're approaching that. So if there is downside, sure. But I truly think the bottom, the higher low bottom, I should say, is approaching. If not here, I don't know, but it's approaching. We still have targets to downside. I think we need to be mindful of that we've been discussing. And if we kind of go, I think I can change my chart to, I think I have a, there it is. There it is. We have this rising wedge Bitcoin has fallen out of, target to downside around 21,000. And then we very simply also have, if I go back to the chart that I was just on, we have this 50-week moving average. So that gray box on this chart, the target to downside out of the falling wedge and the 50-week moving average around 24,000. So 24,000 down to around 21,000. This is that area that I see Bitcoin, it could potentially just continue consolidating down towards. What's interesting is if we go back to the monthly, September is supposed to be the red month, right? I was kind of being like, you know what, maybe we hit these targets this month because September historically is red. And then I'm looking at it right now, and we still have 15 days and 5 hours left. That's a long time in crypto for a lot to happen, but pretty crazy to see the monthly chart green right now. It's not been a red month of September. So going to analyze it and watch closely what Bitcoin and crypto markets do this month, but 15 days, 2 weeks, you can see Bitcoin at this 50, it's a 50-month moving average, at a 20-month moving average, 20-month approaching the 50-month. In my view, a lot of people would say, man, that's going to be so bearish if that 20 crosses the 50. In my view, these things consolidating like this, even if the 20 just briefly were to fall under it, briefly, this is, when they're this close, that's because of what already happened. This is a lagging indicator, meaning this is a perfect picture of the pain that we just went through, not the pain that is to come. This is a perfect picture of opportunity, the 20 and the 50 colliding the way they are. So when we have things like that, and we have so many different pieces of data from a technical analysis perspective, and then we have this on-chain metrics, the realized profits to value ratio, just signaling once again, a mirror reflection really of the consistencies of these cycles. Once again, the second move to loss, higher low on this chart, you can see in the buy area, really, I think, signaling the potential that the bottom really is in. And I just want to know, everybody, your comments. Do you think the bottom is in? There's a lot of bears out there. I see them in the comments a lot. I see a lot of you bulls too, but I'd be really curious. My light just went off. Man, I was just charging. I knew it was going to happen. I'm very curious if you think the bottom is in. I do. I think the bottom is in. Can always be wrong about that, but I think that was it back there in December, November-ish. And that doesn't mean there's not pain to the downside, but wow, we are right on track. And I want to know your thoughts. So everybody, if you're not a subscriber, make sure to subscribe for crypto analysis, news, all that good stuff. Hit the notifications. If you are a subscriber, smash the like. Your support really is helpful and it means a lot to me. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.